What's the most terrifying, unexplainable encounter you've had with a stranger that still haunts you? I used to hitchhike on occasion around our city when I was a teenager. Mostly things went okay, but the last time I caught a ride, I hardly even looked at the guy driving and just got in, thinking about what I was going to do when I got home. I told him to drive straight down the street for half a mile, but then he made a turn that took us away from the street I lived on. He was going into an industrial area, and I realized this was not good. It occurred to me to find somebody on the street, anybody, and wave to them. They would see me in the truck with this guy, and it could come back to haunt him if he did anything bad. So I saw a teenager who was probably just a year or two older than me, and I waved and smiled and waved some more. I laughed and said, "Oh no, that was my brother. Now he's going to be asking me who I was with in the truck." The guy's demeanor changed immediately. He looked deflated. All his original cockiness was gone. I told him to go down a few more blocks and drop me off. So nothing happened, except that I never, ever hitchhiked again. It wasn't until much later that I realized how very lucky I had been to get away when I did. Thankfully, I never saw him again. The Mexico visit. My first time in Mexico City, I didn't realize what a bad neighborhood my hotel was in. I had just stepped out of the hotel and 3 men noticed me and started walking right over to me really fast and surrounded me on 3 sides. I literally jumped into what turned out to be a tiny bookstore because I sensed I was about to be grabbed. The only people working there were 2 young girls, maybe 8 and 9. One of the guys followed me in and stayed right next to me, blocking my exit. And then, as if by magic, a door I hadn't even noticed in the back of the store opened, and an adult male, probably the girl's dad, emerged. The man left the store, and after lingering a few more minutes and buying some books out of gratitude for him probably saving my life, I went back to the hotel. Pumping gas. I stopped at a Love's gas station off the interstate really late one night to get gas. At the time, I was 17 and heading home from work. The gas station was pretty much empty, no other cars at the pump or anything. I went in, paid for my gas, and came back out to start pumping it. I noticed a guy standing behind one of the pumps on the other side, looking at me, and it gave me the creeps. So I decided I'd just get back in my vehicle while the pump was going with the doors locked. Once I was in my car, he came jogging over, motioning for me to roll my window down, and I just shook my head no. He tried to yank open my door and then started banging on the windows. I called the store, and one of the employees came out and told the guy the cops were on the way. The guy took off running, and the employee told me to stay in my car, and he just pulled the pump out for me and told me to be safe on my way. I no longer stop at gas stations at night, if it can be helped at all. And if I do, I pick a busy one that's well lit. It still gives me the creeps. And I fully believe the guy either wanted to harm me, steal my car, or both.